Hello. Mic test. Mic test. Yep, it looks like we are live now. Let me test the audio at my end. Okay, it seems to be working fine. So let's proceed here. That. Yep. So hello and welcome guys to the 72nd edition of the Trading Opportunities webinar. This is Nirav, and before we proceed with the actual content, let me give you a very quick. Let's do the introduction after a disclaimer as always. So it's a quick disclaimer suggesting all content presented here is purely for educational purposes. I'm not soliciting buy, sell. If you do go on to use the views presented here for your trading, investing, or any other purpose, you yourselves will be liable for your profit loss of profit, etc. Now let's get ahead with a very quick introduction, guys. My name is Nirav. I'm the admin and owner of 50 Eyes Market Analysis website, as well as the 50 Hour Market Analysis YouTube channel, where we have been conducting this series of webinars called Trading Opportunities webinars. So far, we have conducted 71 of these, right? In the past 70 webinars, we have captured 94 big trades or big moves. We will see what happened of the analysis we conducted on 71st webinar today in the 72nd one. This broadcast is done simultaneously on YouTube as well as LinkedIn. If you want to join in, we conduct this broadcast every Friday at 2 p.m. GMT or 7:30 p.m. IST. Right now, before moving forward, let's go ahead and quickly also look at the forecast accuracy. So, guys, I've been doing these webinars and video uploads, etc., stuff on YouTube for quite some time, and over the years, I have compiled track record of all that. In 2016, the accuracy of the videos and content published online was or on YouTube was 83%, so on and so forth. 37.5 in 2017, 18, it's 84 point. Sorry, 2018 was 84.61, 2019 was 84.88, 2020 88.52, and 2021 82.21. You can always just scroll through these sheets and just check the date, instrument name, what I said, or basically the analysis over here, and the link for the videos over here, and what happened over here. So this, as you can see, is above industry standards, and that's just something I wanted to show before we actually proceeded with the actual content. Now let's have a quick outlook of how I will proceed. So first of all, we will go over the chart of Euro USD as always, then crude oil, gold, followed by S&P, Nifty, and Bitcoin. And yes, guys, our private Slack group is now active and currently still in request only mode. That is, you will have to contact me via my contact us page, which is 50s.com/contact us, and send in the subject matter as private Slack group to get details of what's included. Yeah, coming back to the subject matter, these are the charts we will discuss, and we have posted about 5+ trades, I think, in the Slack group, and I have actually traded all of them, and all of them were this week winning trades. We will have a look at some of them if we get the time, but yeah, let's just go ahead and do the actual content here. So first of all, we have on screen the chart of Euro USD, right? And let's just quickly have a look at the context of it. So the context of it was very clear. In the last webinar itself, I suggested that we, not even in the last webinar, we have been suggesting that for quite some webinars, that we are expecting a possible triangle in progression. And the idea was, if the market breaks this BD trend line, this white trend line, and sustains above it, then we will be looking for long trades. So as it happened, this came out to be a very classical trade setup. It broke above the trend line over here. And after it broke above the trend line, it went down, retested it, and then it went up. So a very nice setup, and I was able to catch longs on it as well. And I am actually holding some long positions, minor long positions right now as well. And here's a quick look into our Slack posts. One of the few trades we captured, booked partial profits, added more longs. This was going day before yesterday, and booked profits on all longs. Re-entered longs, booked profit on longs. This was a scalp. This one was a scalp, and minor longs I'm currently in on EURUSD. So overall, I think three posts on just Euro itself, or three trades on Euro itself, and they are working fine. So now let's look at the current setup and why I am currently holding longs on this counter. So from this point of reference, which is the price level around 1.09755, we seem to have an impulse in the upward direction, and within this impulse, we seem to be currently in the wave fourth progression. Now, wave four basically means that some sideways movement will be seen, or generally is seen in wave four. And as soon as the sideways movement is over, we will look for a new upside movement, or basically the last highs will be taken out. So right now, what we can see is that this sideways movement seems to be progressing as a possible flat kind of correction. Now, as soon as this flat is over, this new leg up should come into play. That's the analysis here. And the defined levels where I think this flat may conclude itself is around, it can conclude itself here around the wave A low as well, but possibly it can go to as low as 1.1189 or even lower to 1.11559, which will be too low for this setup. So the idea currently is just to hold and see if it behaves in this manner, and if it does, I'll probably add even more longs. If it doesn't, then I'll look to exit around this level 1.11559 or a little bit below it. So far that's our setup on your USD. It's quite simple and straightforward. So let's not push too much time into it, and head over to our next analysis of CL, or crude oil. Perhaps I can discuss some targets for wave 5, but I think since the wave 4 has not completely given a clear formation, it's best I leave it for now. But the minimum, of course, we all know is that it will take out the 1.12456 level to the upside. Now let's look at crude oil. It's not gonna work out like that. 5 seemingly is over here. Yeah, so I was thinking that perhaps one leg up was remaining, but since it has broken the channel, that's or less likely at this point. So yes, with crude oil, we discussed last time. I think it was the title of the webinar. Last time it was that crude oil showing a sign of strength, basically. And after our last webinar, it has gone up. Let me just quickly check the date. It was on 7th of July. Yeah, somewhere here we did the last webinar, and the idea was that this market is showing sign of strength and it is having more upside remaining. And I also recall the setup. The setup was that if the market goes higher than 73.80-ish level, sorry, 81-ish level, basically above this level, then I'll look for longs. So again, this one also I entered longs. I was able to catch it right at the entry which we were discussing in the actual webinar itself. Let me see if I can edit manual longs, blah blah blah. Where is after 7 July? Yeah, there it is. In the Slack group, added minor longs at with SL 7340. booked profits on longs, look to re-enter later, updated, etc., etc. So again, this makes another trade which we were able to capture. And as I said, in this week, there were zero losing trades. All trades were closed in profit. Now let's see what this market is doing right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Where's this 3? Where's this 4? And this is 5. So it looks to me like, where's that? A, B, C. Let's go to 1H. So it looks to me like the bare minimum, or the what do you call, risk-free upside move is done. Now, what does that mean? So that basically means that generally when the market is moving up, it will move up either as an impulse or a correction. In this particular case, the bare minimum, of course, will be as a correction because it will have an A wave up, B wave down, followed by a C wave up. And if it was an impulse, it would be 5 waves like this. So now if we look at this chart, we find that A and B, and this is what I've counted as C, is over. So the safe part is over. Now we are over here if this is the C, and we are over here if this is the 3. So that basically means a correction was due. I probably could have traded this leg down, but let's now discuss things for what they are. So as I was saying, it could just be the wave 4 down if this is following the impulse count. This is the impulse count, by the way. This is the correction count. So if this is an impulse count, then it will probably go down a little bit and then go sideways, which will give us another opportunity to go long. We can go long near the lows, start building up our position, or at the break of the last high. So that remains to be seen. If that's not the case, then it can just straight out fall as well for much lower levels. So long story short, crude oil is a little bit of a wait and watch scenario here. And if it is going to reverse to the upside, if it's going to go sideways and then up like this, then I believe it should take support somewhere around 75-20-ish level. Yeah. Yeah, so somewhere around 75-20-ish level. I'm not saying exactly here, but little bit above it, little bit below it, it should take support. If it breaks below 74.60 and sustains below it, then I don't think it is going for an impulse. I think it was a correction and it can fall. Right, so that's my interpretation. Going below 74.67ish, basically this level, I think it will be bearish. And if it sustains above it, specifically above 75.20, then I think it will be bullish. So the range to watch out is between 75.20 to around 74.67. So somewhere within this range, I expect this market, if it's going to go up again, will reverse. That's about it for crude oil. Again, very simple and straightforward. Let's now head over to our next chart of gold. Gold, I was able to capture one up move here, but it was not very profitable. It was this leg, somewhere within this leg. Yeah, it was actually this leg. I was able to capture part of it. After that, I have not traded gold. I was busy with the Euro, S&P, and CL. So now quickly, let's look at what gold is doing. Right now, what we have over here is, let me check if we have, yeah, there it is. The context is already there. So let's look at it from the point of reference here. First of all, this is our point of reference. Price level is 1893. And from this point of reference or starting point of the analysis, what we have over here is at least a three wave ups. Basically, the similar scenario as we discussed in our on our last chart. What I'm saying is that from this point, we are looking for something like this. So it yellow color is better. So we are looking from this POR for something like this wave A up, B down, and next leg is C up. So here currently we have the A wave up complete, the B wave also looks complete, and looks like the wave C is under progression, and it perhaps will be giving us some more upside or at least one leg up. I will be looking to make a play for it. Let me just place an alert here for the same. And as you can see, I have already marked the possible reversal level. So first reversal level was 1955, which it seems to have not worked out. Second is 1950. So if it sustains above 1950, then I'll be looking for longs around 1960 levels. Very clear and simple setup. We will be looking to make a play for wave 5, right? And as I said, if it sustains above 1950, then I'll be only interested in adding longs above 1960, 60-ish level. And if you are not much familiar with Elliott Wave, the play here is to take the movement of this impulse up. This impulse up. An impulse is basically a five-wave progression in Elliott Wave terminologies, and it is represented by these Roman letters here. This is your wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And if we compare it with the actual price action, and 3 is also over. Actually, 3 is continuing here. Sorry. So we are inside this leg, this 3 wave we are inside currently. So that basically means even if this count is not the most perfect count, we will at least have one leg up. And if it is completely precise, then we will have at least two legs up, one for completion of this 3 and the next one for this wave 5. So long story short, wait for longs, wait and watch for longs as per my understanding. And I personally will be looking to book profits around 1967-ish levels. Of course, it can go much higher, but I'm talking about target minimum 1967. That's about it for our take on gold. Let's look at S&P, which has been highly profitable, and I have captured quite a few trades on it as well. And I am also holding longs right now on S&P. So let's see. Let's go a little bit in the past. So this is our point of reference on S&P. By the way, in the last webinar, I did make it abundantly clear that this market, one second. Yeah, this was the support zone. I did make it quite clear that either it can reverse from here, that is this level itself, and the second scenario was that it will go back and touch the lower part or the lower level of this support box, which is exactly what it did. It went back and exactly reversed from the support box. As you can see, the price movement below the support box is just spikes, and it was failing to close below it. So after that, I was able to capture some longs on this counter. Let me see if I can bring that up. S&P. Yeah, there it is. S&P added longs July 12th. Upcoming targets 45.24, close 50%, move stop loss to remaining to break even. And yes, currently we are holding with stop loss at break even. So S&P again, we are able to capture part of this leg. and I'm currently also holding longs. So what is it doing? Let's just quickly check right now. I believe it is inside a possible impulse, and within the impulse we are currently in the circled wave 3. So let me just show you what I really mean by that. So if this is the impulse, this will be your circled 1, circled 2, which are already complete. Circled 1 is complete here, circle 2 is complete here, and we are inside the circle 3 as you can see over here, right? And within the circles 3, as we know, as per the fractal nature of Elliott wave, we should see 5 waves again. And we are seeing those 5 waves as double bracket 1, double bracket 2, double bracket 3, double bracket 4, and there will be a double bracket 5. So long story short, I believe that we have 2 waves, if not more, to the upside remaining, right? And the current idea is that since I'm already holding a good position, I'm just trailing it. I will look to move my trails below 44.80 level soon. Let me just put an alert over here, because if it goes there, it's already a warning sign. Now, the important thing is that, see, as I said, at least 2 and even more possible up legs may be remaining here. But the more important thing is that if we look at it from a larger time frame perspective, if it really is the end of the move over here at the price of 34.90 ish level, then that basically means that this was a 1, this was a 2, and then this is again building up into the 3. And wave 3 generally is the strongest and fastest move inside a impulse, specifically in the stock markets, which we are discussing S&P and index of the stocks. So that basically means that if this analysis is correct, that this is a impulse heading in the upward direction, then we can see this market heading into uncharted territories, or let's just say new lifetime highs above 48.25. So long story short, it is a good idea to look for longs at this point in time on this counter. So nothing much to add here on S&P, right? And yes, in case you guys are wondering, let me just clarify that how you can become a part of the private Slack group, which I have been showing over here. So this is the private Slack group where I am updating my counts and trades as well. Now to become a part of it, it is currently still request only. That basically means you will have to send me a request using the contact us form on the website 50is.com/contact us with the subject matter as details for private Slack group entry or something of that nature. After which I will send you the details, and if you are comfortable and you like how we operate things here, then you can request back for the payment link. So long story short, it is not open for public currently. I'm planning to do it around the end of this month, around July. I'm getting very good response so far in the Slack group of the participants. So we'll look to improve a few things here and there, and look to open it around the end of July. So that's about it for the Slack group, in case you were wondering. Now let's head back to our webinar, and let's see the movements in Nifty 50, which will be followed by Bitcoin. So Nifty 50, what we seem to be having over here is again an impulse, as is the case with the most indexes. Although this is a little bit too much strength if it sustains. Let's see what I'm saying over here. Let's look at it from the point of reference price level around 18646 here in the box. It looks like we have a wave 1 up until the price of 19527, followed by a possible wave 2 here until the price of 19380. Now, if that is correct, then this basically means this should be the strongest leg up. And I personally will be interested in keeping long positions on above 19,600. So basically, what I'm saying here is that if this market sustains or takes a support above 19,600 and does something like this, like goes above it and just moves around this level or above this level, does not break below it. It may give a spike or two, but not substantial movement below it. Then this will be a setup for exceptionally strong bullish movement. And the exceptionally strong bullish movement basically means a wave three. And if that is the case, then there is no telling how high this market can go. Although I have the immediate upcoming level at 19,900. So short-term target is 19,900, but as I said, it will be exceptionally strong bull move if it sustains above 19,600. Or sorry, there is a possibility of an extremely strong bull move if it sustains above 19,600. Of course, other possibilities will come into play as things progress, right? So this is our play for now. Wait for 19,600, check for price action, and trade accordingly. Right, that's about it for Nifty. Now let's head over to our last chart of Bitcoin. Looks like we have accumulation going over here. Let me show you what I mean here. Now this has remained sort of the same. I mean, the major analysis is basically still the same. The analysis is that I'm only interested in longs above 32,225. Let me just write it down. Right. Why? Because this market, while it can still go straight up as is represented by this red arrow, it also has the possibility of going down at once to 28,120 to 27,300. So in this range, it can go and then pick up the pace and then head higher. And I'm personally not very interested in holding it for this long. Right. So that's the very reason I have exited my longs and not looking to enter unless my specific level is exceeded. Right. And the next thing is that if it sustains above 32,225, then immediate target will be 33,454. And after 33,454, it can just go much higher. But yes, the target minimum basically also means that it can just go and stop the move there. I mean, of course, it can stop the move anywhere, but that's my outlook, that it will at least give us this much moment to play for on the long side. So as I said, Bitcoin is a wait and watch. Important levels to watch are 33,225 on the upside to look for longs. Minimum target 33,454, and on the downside, if it does not follow our first hypothesis of straight up move, but the second hypothesis of down and then up, in that case, this is the support zone or region 28,120 to 27,300. Nothing much to add here. Of course, I will update all these things with much more regularity and detail in my Slack group. And as I said earlier, if you want details for it, you will have to contact me via my website's contact us page. So that's about it for this webinar. I hope you found the content useful. And if you did, I would request you one thing, that you hit the like button, subscribe the YouTube channel, and also make sure to share it with your friends, colleagues, or in Slack groups or Discord or Telegram or whatever you guys are using. Right? Sharing is very important. Keeps the audience live here and keeps the motivation up for making more of this public content. Right? That's about it, guys. Thanks for joining in, and I'll see you in the next one.